Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my second Creepy Diaries video for you guys, and this was titled The Secret Basement Horror Story. Without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera back up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
I had never been particularly superstitious, but there was something undeniably eerie about the old Victorian house we had just moved into. The creaking floorboards, the flickering lights, the shadows that seemed to dance in the corners of my vision. My girlfriend, Sarah, tried to dismiss my concerns with rational explanations, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Our real estate agent had assured us that the house was a steal, conveniently omitting the fact that its previous owners had abruptly vacated the property without giving any reason. Still, the allure of affordable rent and the charm of the old architecture had lured us in. It wasn't until we settled into our new home that the strange occurrences began. It started innocently enough: objects misplaced, faint whispers in the dead of night, the unshakable feeling of being watched. Sarah attributed it to the stress of moving, but my unease only grew. The real source of my apprehension lay in the basement. The previous owners had boarded up the entrance, claiming it was for storage purposes. However, there was something secretive about the way they had sealed it off, as if they were trying to keep something hidden.
First of all, if I bought an old Victorian home, I'd be ecstatic because I kind of like how the architecture of those type of homes are built. But if it comes with a basement and it's sealed off, I'm going to be asking questions to not only the realtor, but to the people that used to own it. Why do you have it sealed up and what's back there? And if you just give a fake answer like, oh, it's nothing, then I know they're probably lying and hiding something secretive. Makes you wonder, are they criminals and were they hiding money or someone else down there? Like somebody that was deformed or just holding them for ransom. I don't know. There's so many theories rolling through my head right now, but a bunch of red flags too about this basement. But I don't want to jump ahead with any more conclusions of my own, so let's just continue on with the story and see what happens next, shall we?
One evening, as Sarah drifted off to sleep in our cozy bedroom, I couldn't shake the persistent nagging feeling that the answers to my questions lay in the basement. Tiptoeing down the creaky stairs, I felt a chill run down my spine as I stood before the door that concealed the unknown. With a deep breath, I mustered the courage to pry open the loose panel that concealed the hidden entrance. The rusty hinges groaned in protest as I pushed the door open, revealing a staircase that descended into darkness. The musty smell of neglect wafted up, mingling with the metallic tang of fear that coated my tongue.
Yeah, I hate that smell too. You smell a bunch of old dust. I can tell you right there that they haven't been keeping it clean down there. Because if you have a basement that's not kept up, you'll start to have like spiders and other type of critters just showing up out of nowhere, thinking that the basement is their home. Well, it ain't.
Ignoring the voice in my head that screamed for me to turn back, I descended into the depths below. The air grew colder the further down I went, the dim light from my phone casting grotesque shadows on the damp walls. The basement was like a forgotten tomb, filled with forgotten relics of the past. Old furniture covered in dust sheets, cobweb-laden boxes stacked haphazardly in the corners. But it was the far end of the basement that caught my eye, a dilapidated door that stood slightly ajar, the faint glow of flickering candles dancing inside. My heart pounded in my chest as I approached, the sound echoing in the oppressive silence of the basement. With trembling hands, I pushed the door open and entered a chamber that seemed to defy all logic. The room was a twisted mockery of a sanctuary, adorned with symbols I didn't recognize, arcane objects that seemed to pulse with malevolent energy. And in the center of it all, a figure hunched over a strange altar, muttering incomprehensible incantations under his breath. My blood ran cold as I realized the figure was not alone. A chorus of whispers filled the room, a cacophony of voices that seemed to come from all directions at once. Paralyzed with fear, I watched in horror as the figure turned towards me, his eyes gleaming with madness in the dim light. "Welcome, interloper," he hissed, his voice like nails on a chalkboard. "You have awakened forces beyond your comprehension. Prepare to face the consequences." I tried to back away, but an unseen force held me in place, my pulse thundering in my ears. The figure raised a gnarled hand towards me, and I felt a searing pain in my chest as a spectral force surged through me.
Oh, heck no. I'll be trying to fight all temptation right about that point and try to run back up the basement stairs and lock that door tightly. But then I'll be wondering, why in the world is there a cult down there in the bottom of the basement? And they did not leave when they were selling the house or when the other owners were selling the house. But it seems like that was the secret that the previous homeowners did not want nobody to know. I'm surprised the realtor even know about that, what was going on.
Threatening to consume my very essence. In a last desperate bid for survival, I closed my eyes and whispered a silent prayer, channeling all the courage I could muster. And then, with a blinding flash of light, the spectral force recoiled, the figure's cries of rage echoing in the chamber as I stumbled back into the basement, gasping for breath. I don't remember how I made it back to the surface, the events of that night a blur in my memory. But as I emerged into the cool night air, I knew one thing for certain. The house held secrets darker than I could have ever imagined. And as I looked back at the boarded up entrance to the basement, I vowed never to set foot in that cursed place again. Sarah found me the next morning, pale and trembling, unable to speak of the horrors I had witnessed. We packed our belongings in haste, leaving the house behind like a bad dream. But the memory of that night haunts me still, a constant reminder of the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the world of the dead. And as I lay awake in our new home, bathed in the warm glow of the bedside lamp, I can't shake the feeling that something lingers in the shadows, waiting for its next victim to uncover the malevolent truth hidden in the secret basement of our old house.
Okay, that's very strange. I was thinking at first that there was an actual real cult going down in that basement, but if he said a silent prayer and they start screaming in agony, then they're not real people. They were actually spirits. But it makes you wonder, somebody probably did some sort of ceremony down there and then they caused these spectral entities to pop up. But I wouldn't blame them. I would just pack my stuff up and go too. And I don't care if the realtor thinks I'm crazy if I tell him that there were some evil spirits down there. And I think that's a law in California that if you have a house that you know is haunted, you got to put that in the contract too, just so people know. And I wish every other state was like that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications for more Creepy Diaries content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day.